Okay, I think we can get started again as most of you are coming back. Let me just mention the handout that goes with this workshop you have, and there's actually more information on that handout that I'm not discussing. There's some theory behind this that I didn't really want to spend too much time talking about, but if you're interested in some of the sources or some of the other things about creativity, have a look at the handout later, okay? All right, well, let's continue. We're looking at 4 principles of creativity. We've done 2, divergent production, quantity over quality. We'll go to the 3rd one now, which is setting constraints. And constraints, in other words, some sort of limitation. And that might seem strange because you might think, why limit yourself? We want to have as much creativity as possible. But I think Lucy said something about this morning. If there's too much openness, it's hard to get started and to focus your thinking. And so having some parameters, some constraints to work within can make it easier to get into the creative part of what you're doing. So as a materials writer, I often have to write, say, a reading text, and I appreciate it when the publisher tells me the topic, the exact number of words, the exact level, all of that, and then I can be creative within that, rather than just write about something you think teenagers would be interested in. So Dr. Seuss, are you familiar with Dr. Seuss? He's he's deceased, an American children's book writer. If you don't know his books, definitely have a look at them because there are a lot of fun things you can use in the classroom. He wrote one of his most famous books called Green Eggs and Ham after somebody bet him that he could not write a book using a few number of words. And he said, I can write a book using 50 words only. Now, the book has more than 50 words, but it's the same 50 words. And he repeats these words over and over again in a very creative way. And that's what makes it a very fun book to read. And so you don't have to learn a lot of vocabulary to read this particular book. So the constraint was the number of words. And he was able to write one of his best books with this constraint. So let's try this. Let's try a little writing activity this time. I'm going to give you some constraints, and I want you to see how you do with these constraints. So here they are. A 3 or 4 line poem, or a story, either one, but only 3 or 4 lines. So it's very short. And you can use any of these words, but only these words. You don't have to use all of them, but you can't add words. Only these words you can choose. So we have 2 names, Wendy, a woman, Wes, a guy. Some verbs, wait or waited, watched or watched, work or worked, want or wanted. We have did and didn't. We have some question words, who, why, conjunction and, preposition with. So only these words. Let's see if you can write a very short 3 or 4 line little story or poem in 3 minutes. So your constraints are the number of lines, the words, and the time. 3 different constraints to work in. Give it a try. So this will be a writing exercise. If you want to work with a partner, that's fine. You may prefer to work alone for this task. Okay? Ready, set, go. I'll be the timekeeper for this. 3 minutes. You should have lines in your handout if you want to write directly. Pardon? Sure, you can repeat the words. Yeah, you can repeat the words over and over if you want. One long sentence.
Yeah, one long sentence using all those words.
You could. You think make one long sentence? Yeah. Just put it on 3 different lines. Break it.
One long grammatical one.
Yeah, why not? Because the lines will be artificial. Where you break the lines is artificial, so it doesn't really matter. There you go. Thirty seconds. Okay, that's 3 minutes. If you haven't finished, go ahead, finish up. I'll give you a couple more seconds. I certainly could give you 4 minutes or 5 minutes, but get the idea. Sorry?
Not for the kids.
Oh, that's the adult version. Okay, can we hear a few? Yep.
All right. Wendy and Wes, who didn't wait, who didn't work, and who didn't watch.
Okay, very nice. Anyone else?
Wes didn't want to work, Wes wanted to wait. Wes watched Wendy, Wendy wanted Wes. Wes
Ooh.
and Wendy didn't work.
Ooh, nice. Nice.
Who did West wait? West waited Wendy. Why did West wait Wendy? West wanted to work with Wendy.
Okay, good. These are all different. They're all very nice.
Wendy didn't want to work with Wes. Why didn't Wendy want to work with Wes? Who did Wendy want to work with?
Okay. Ended with a question, little mystery at the end. Okay, what over here, and then I'll come back over there.
Wes wanted to watch when he didn't wait. Wes wanted to watch when he wanted to work. When he didn't wait, who did Wes watch with?
Good. They're all different. They all make sense. It's good. When you're done, you can pass back when you're finished.
Wendy didn't work with Wes. Wes didn't work with Wendy. Wendy wanted to work with Wes, and Wes wanted to work with Wendy.
Okay, very good.
Okay, I wrote a long sentence which was, I think, is grammatical and only use each word once.
Okay.
Okay, so let's try it. Why did Wendy want to work with Wes, who didn't wait and watch? Every word once.
You used all the words one time.
Yeah.
Wow. Say it again. Do it again.
Okay,
I believe you. I just want to.
let's count, okay? Why did Wendy want to work with Wes, who didn't wait and watch? So that's 13 words. Once.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Good. Excellent.
I have a mysterious one. Wendy wanted Wes to work. Who didn't want to work? Why?
Wendy didn't wait to watch Wes work. Wes worked. Why didn't Wendy wait? Wendy didn't want to wait.
Why? Okay, very nice. Very nice. All different too. It's amazing what you can get from just one small pool of words. Now, you could actually do this with a bit of pronunciation work as well. These are all W words, but if there are certain minimal pairs or certain difficult sounds in English that your students have trouble with, you could include those words to get a little pronunciation practice in. But you have no trouble with the W sound. Okay, did you feel like you were able to be creative within those constraints? Yeah, I think so. So this one happened to have 3. So simple little writing exercise. Yeah? Because they don't know the words? It's just too challenging for them? Well, I mean, you know your students best. You don't want to frustrate your students by making something too difficult. I mean, you could give them more time, but if they have trouble with this, I mean, I put this together for you as teachers. If I were doing this with a group of 6 or 7 years old or a few years older, I would probably choose different words, more familiar words, with simpler sentences, maybe not include the choice of past and present. Just keep it all in the simple present. I would simplify it. Maybe even add more words than this. Just give them a pool of words to create a story is the same idea, but give them more choice. Maybe with some simple common verbs that they already know. I certainly don't want to frustrate the students. I want this to be a fun activity, so I don't want to make it more difficult than it needs to be for them. So if you're going to adapt this with students, you need to probably simplify it, give them more time. to do it. Yeah. It's a good point. Thank you. Where's my... Okay, let's move on. Let's go on to the final principle. This one I like probably the best. Unusual connections. Thinking of it as taking two things that are not related and putting them together to create something new. If you remember our definition of creativity, this is what they were getting at. Creating something new, something unexpected, something novel. So I like to think of this as, what do we have here in this picture? A pineapple and a fish, which we can put together. But what is it? Maybe it's something new. So I like to think of it as 1 + 1 equals 3. 1 + 1 = 3. There's something new that you've created by putting these things together. That's where the creativity can come in. Not just the two parts, but maybe something new. So let's try this one. I think this is one you could probably do with young learners pretty easily. Imagine you're a scientist and you have discovered a new animal. Now, the animal that you discovered should be two animals put together. Any two animals put together. So, for example, here we have a elephant and a butterfly, a horse and duck, and shark and a bear, polar bear. It's a little creepy. It's a little bit, but you're playing doctor or something bigger here. So think of two animals, any two animals, put them together, give it a name, a creative name, and very important, draw a picture. You should have a box on your handout, or use another piece of paper. Make a big picture, and then be prepared to explain what this animal can do. Maybe it can do something partly that an elephant do, partly that a butterfly can do, but maybe something new. Maybe a new superpower, a new characteristic that it has, okay? Thinking of this concept here, okay? So be creative, any two animals, big or small. Be sure you draw a simple picture, give it a name. A new what? Pokemon? Yeah, yeah. You can be a millionaire, you can sell it. So the last activity was more for the linguistic verbal learners. This one's more for maybe the visual, conceptual learners. Do you want to help me pass out things? Can you help me? Thanks. It'll take a little time. Each person too. Yeah, thank you. While you're doing that, I'm going to pass out some things here. We'll do this in a later activity, but it takes time to pass it out. So just take them, keep them. I'll explain the reason for these a little bit later. What is that? Dragon and
Rhino.
a what?
The body is a snake.
Snake? Okay.
But the legs is a dragon.
Okay, that's
And
good.
the wings is a bat.
Oh, so you got 3 animals.
And the head is of the bird.
What are you going to name that? That's a hard one to name.
Have a lot of
Keep thinking about that, yeah? Think of the name. Yeah, good, good. Nice. If you finish, show the people around you, because it's going to be too difficult to show the pictures in the class. So just have a look at the ones around you. We'll share a couple, but have a look at some of your neighbors in front and behind you. Good. Yeah. No human. Okay, can I hear a couple examples? Again, the pictures will be difficult to see, but if you could explain the animal, give the name and what it can do. You want to go?
So this animal is called the lady spung. It's a skunk and a ladybug.
Okay.
And this would be used on farms and fields. It will eat the weeds from the fields, but not the crops. And through digestion, it will use natural gas to eliminate pests. So it'll be a natural pesticide.
Very nice.
It's also nocturnal and is black and red with red spots that glow at night so you can see them working.
Nice. How big is it? How big is it?
It's like a skunk with wings.
Okay, so size of a skunk. All right, very good. Very nice, very creative. Another?
My pictures, sorry, my animals is duckist. Duckist is combine a duck and a fish, and it has two wings, and it can fly very fast, swim very fast, and can run also.
Okay? So it can swim, it can run, and it can fly. Very nice. Okay? Any more from this side? One more from this side? Ooh, can you pass down?
Yes. The animals is the mixed cat bee. Yes, with two tails like two tails of the cat can listen carefully. With two wings of the bees can fly anywhere. So they have two mouths, have a chance to eat a lot. Yes.
I want to see a photo of that because that sounds frightening. Two mouths, two tails. Ooh, okay. Anyone from over here? Do you mind passing, Miss? Can you pass me?
These are composed of three animals: unicorn, zebra, and cow. So we call it unicowzeb. So you can see the pictures. Unicorn can fly, and then at the same time the body is zebra. And then a cow can be worked on farm for sure. And then if we want to travel some food from the crop or good crops from the farm, then it can fly. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, one more. Can you pass the microphone to whoever has their hand up?
Okay, mine's a long neck monster, and it's combined a giraffe and a dolphin. And then it scares away Loch Ness monsters by blowing bubbles.
Okay, all right. Okay, very nice. So some of you broke the rules and did 3 animals and even 4. That's okay. It's okay to break the rules. So if I were doing this activity with younger learners, I would give them a big piece of paper, markers, and put all the pictures on the wall. Because I think you need to see the photos, the pictures. That's I think for the one of the most interesting part. But you get the idea. We're just demonstrating the activity here. But if I were using this in a lesson, this would be much, develop it a bit more. Okay, so you remember the principle. We're talking about unusual connections or combinations. Let's look at another activity. Here we'll do another short writing activity, but this time it will be a dialogue. So a 6-line dialogue is all we're going to write. A, B, A, B, A, B. But the dialogue will be between 2 unrelated things. Not humans, not people. Objects. So this is where some of the creativity will come in. So for example, a bee and a flower maybe are talking about something. So what we're going to do, let me give you an example. Can you guess what these 2 things are? To make it more interesting, we're going to try to guess what the 2 are and also the situation. What exactly are they talking about? So here, I'll read this. You are so lucky. I wish I had things as easy as you. Why? What do you mean? You get to spend all day swimming without a care in the world. Yes, but my bowl is not always very clean. You have a better life. I don't think so. I never get to fly around because they know you will escape out the window. Just a little simple dialogue. Can you guess what the 2 speakers are? A bird and a fish. Can you be more specific? Yeah. A fish in a bowl, like a goldfish, and a bird in a cage. There it is. Okay, so your task, oops. I'm going to give you a little piece strip that has 2 characters and a situation. With a partner, I want you to just write 6 lines. And then we will guess what the speakers are. So don't make it too easy. Don't make it too difficult. You know what I mean? If it's too easy to guess. If it's too difficult, we'll feel frustrated. So I have a bunch here. Maybe I could ask for some more help passing out. Not sure I have enough for everybody, but I have enough for most. So I'll pass some out over here. If you want to try this activity with your partner, raise your hand. If you don't want to try it, don't raise your hand. So who would like? Anyone here? Maybe I'll pass a few more. If you could pass these down to some people who want them, that would be great. Any more? 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 One. You got? I have a few more. Anyone else want? More? Can you pass? Maybe another one behind. Thanks. Last one. I think I'm good now. chrysanthemum? I think it's a chrysanthemum. Yeah, chrysanthemum. Quite a difficult word to pronounce in English. It's a long word. If you have finished and are waiting, go ahead and try it out with the pair next to you and see if they can guess before we get some examples. If you've already finished, just try it out and see if the people next to you can guess. Okay, can I ask for 2 volunteers to read your dialogue? Yeah? You too? Yeah. Okay, so everybody, let's stop and listen. See if you can guess the speakers and the situation. And let me say, I didn't have enough. So some are repeated. So if it sounds like yours, don't guess. There might be 1 or 2 that are the same, okay?
Hey, a little brown creature in the sea.
Why did you call me that? I can use my sound to call my friends and family, but what can you do?
I can use my sound to call them too.
I could travel 1,000 miles in the sea and came back.
I'm related to human beings. That's why people think I'm smarter than you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any guesses? Dolphin and a shrimp? Ship? Dolphin and a ship. Dolphin and a turtle? Any other guesses? Is dolphin one of them? Yeah. Okay. Dolphin and what? Chimpanzee. Ah, chimpanzee. Were they both in the sea? Okay. Another pair? So they were talking about who was smarter. Who was smarter? That was the situation. Okay, stand up.
Okay, I would like to say that these 2 things are the same, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, guess what it is. So,
Okay. You know, I miss the good old days.
yeah, people used to look at us all the time.
I love how they always take us out and even handed us to other people.
Right? They love what we have to say inside. But now, those glorious days are gone.
Yeah, nobody even wants us anymore. We're just dirty and rusted. On the outside and inside now.
We're just collecting dust at this point. I just want to be recycled and die.
Very nice, very interesting. Any guesses? Envelopes? Books?
Bingo. Books.
Two
Yeah.
books.
Two books.
Two books.
Two books on a shelf that is reflecting on their glorious old days.
Okay.
Yeah, when they're new.
Right. Now nobody wants to read books, sadly. Very good. Very nice. Okay, let's do one more. One more. Who has a good one? Anyone? If not, I'm happy to go on. Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
I don't feel so good.
Why? What's wrong?
I feel dizzy because I never get a break.
I sometimes feel dizzy too.
You only move once in a while. Why are you dizzy?
Cause you keep hitting me.
No.
You want to guess? Yeah? Our hand and the
The
second
two hands
hand.
of the clock.
The hands of the clock. Right. Okay. Very nice. Very good. Okay, so that's a simple activity, taking what is very common in our lessons, a dialogue, and sort of turning it upside down, making it a little bit more unusual. And instead of just taking it from the book, creating our own dialogue. All right, let's go to the final activity I think we'll do today. We gave you some, what do we call these in English? Any idea? That's it, yeah. They're actually called pipe cleaners. When people had pipes, they would clean the pipe, the smoking pipe. But nowadays, they're not really used for that, I think. They're more just for crafts and making things. So what I would like to do, you have two of them, right? This will be two parts. Let me just give you the first part of the activity. It's very simple. Create somebody doing an action. And we will guess what it is. Maybe one of them can be a person, make a kind of stick person, doing something. For example, holding a balloon. So don't use that one, that was my example. But I don't want to give too many. Be creative. Doing something, and you'll hold it up and we'll try to guess what it is. That's the first part of the activity. This is more for the tactile learners now. The students who want to touch and need to manipulate objects, those types of learners. Keep it simple. Good. 3 people? 3? Okay. Somebody with a pipe? An old man? A pipe or a tongue? The snake tongue. Oh, nice. Oh, cool. Does it, you have a story that goes with it? Okay. So how many of you? Okay. So it actually tells a story. Okay. Are you going to come up and tell it on the stage? Yeah? Okay. Okay, do you have a simple story? Simple story is enough. I would like to ask a group to come up and show and tell your story. Who would like to volunteer? Yeah? How many in your group? 3? Okay, come on up. Come on, yeah. This is your moment, your stage. Only 2? Okay.
Once upon a time, there were 2 best friends. One is blue and one is
Green.
They were best friends. They did everything together.
Yeah. Football together. Playing games together.
Everything together. But one day, Green decided to smoke.
Ooh.
And Blue,
Enjoy life. Green, enjoy.
don't smoke.
Why not?
It's not good.
I'm still healthy.
Okay. I will go play football. And one day, the bad news. Green is dead. And Blue is still alive. So, don't do drugs. Yeah, thank you.
A nice life lesson. Thank you very much. Another group? It's your chance to be on video even here. Okay, come on up. I don't know how many thousands of people could be watching you. Don't feel nervous. I don't think it might be. I'm not sure. You can say hello to your friends and family.
Short story. It's the opening ceremony of the Olympics. A young boy releases a dove while the gymnast does a split and the weightlifter flexes.
That's it?
Don't do drugs.
Okay, another? Okay, come on up. Only you? Oh, coming up? Okay. Now, as they tell their story, if you think you can add on to their story, maybe that's an option. If you have something that can add on to their story, think about that. Maybe you want to add on to it.
Once upon a time in ancient Egypt, there was a picture of a man on the wall of the pyramid. So the man is dancing, and one day the man saw a hole that allowed him to travel in time. So he traveled to the future. He came to America and watched a basketball match where he could see an all-star NBA player play, but he didn't know it was in America. So suddenly, a man with a gun stood up and shoot everyone, including including the Egyptian man. The story ends.
I can't have that be the last story. I need one more. Too much violence. And whenever you're stuck with the story, there's always time travel, right? Time travel always helps with the story. Okay, one more. Our last one.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and let us start our story. This is a story about a beautiful girl. She fall in love with a guy. Sorry, let me start. This is a beautiful girl, and she like doing exercise. But one day she changed her mind. She want to go to the swimming pool. And when she went there, when she was swimming, she saw a guy, and this is a very interesting guy. Yeah, actually she wanted to show her feeling to him, but she couldn't find any chance. But
when she was swimming, maybe she has a cramp. So yeah, and the man came and saved her. Yeah, and he even has a bicycle here. Yeah. So she rode her home. Yeah, and when they reach home, he parked his bike in front of her house, and then they give each other a very passionate kiss. Yeah. Okay. And years after that, they both do drugs.
Okay? Yeah? Okay, I think that's a good story to end on. Okay, I wish we had time to hear more, but unfortunately we're out of time. The time has flown by pretty fast, so keep these because I heard they're difficult to find in Vietnam. Do you ever use these pipe cleaners? I heard they're hard to find, so take them back to your school. Maybe you can find some good uses for them. Okay, so I hope that you got some creative activities out of this workshop. Again, lots of ideas. Think of the ones that are most appropriate for your teaching situation. Adapt as needed. Hopefully these kinds of things will lead to other creative ideas that you have as well. I'm sure if we had time, I could have listed a lot of great creative teaching ideas. But why don't we wrap it up there? Because you're probably getting ready and anxious and feeling lucky to win a prize or two, maybe? Yeah, so I will say thank you, or mahalo as we say in Hawaiian, for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the day. I'll turn it over now to John.
Big hand to David. Thanks very much, David. I just walked in as you were talking about drugs and guns, and I thought I wasn't sure I'd come to the right workshop. But
it wasn't my plan, but they took over. So
yeah, you never know what's going to happen in life, do we? Right. So business end of today, we have some wonderful prizes to give out to some lucky winners. Before we do that, really appreciate your feedback on today. Help us keep improving these days. Any other topics that you want for the future? Let us know your challenges so that we can keep trying to meet your needs. So we really appreciate some feedback. On that, there should be a handout around you with if you've got one of those smartphones, there should be a little QR code there. So you can scan the teen, young adult room, give us a little bit of feedback today, and then we'll pick out